What's going on, y'all? Fort Worth Fabian Horror back again with a video. We're doing a reaction to the mystery of Kenny Veach and the M Cave. New evidence. YouTubers who vanished from URBEX Hill, man. This is my second URBEX Hill reaction. I had done one from him months ago and fell off from it. I don't know why I did, but it seems like he's stopped posting for a while. This is his most recent video, and he uploaded it about 3 weeks ago. So not sure where he's at or where he's been, but we're going to hop into this video, man. Like, comment, subscribe, hit notification bell. Follow me at Fort Worth Fabian on Instagram and X. And yeah, man, if you have horror recommendations, this is the place. This is the place for everything horror. So, of course, you guys know I have a horror fascination. If you don't know, you know now. So with that being said, let's hop into this video and subscribe to the channel.
And, I'm looking for a cave that I found, and I didn't have a sidearm when I was here before. And it's shaped like a big M. It's a big cave that looks just like a gigantic M. And something about that cave just spooked me. Out of all the caves I've ever gone in, this one just made my body vibrate. The closer I got to it, the crazier my body felt. And I was like, all right, I'm not gonna go in there right now, but I'm coming back someday.
I don't know about that.
Although Kenny Veach's story has been told many times, new evidence has recently surfaced that may reveal where he could be. Kenny Veach was an avid explorer of the Mojave Desert, regularly taking extensive hikes across its vast, rugged terrain. He had a YouTube channel named Snakebit McGee, where he would upload his various hobbies and hikes. He lived in Las Vegas and often hiked the desert not far from Area 51. During his hikes, he would traverse miles into the desert's harsh landscape, encountering numerous caves.
And then there's lots of little caves, but they're not the kind of cave I'm looking for. And then there's caves like that. I'm not going up there.
Why?
P.F. Chang's invites you to celebrate.
That's what I'm saying. I think humans naturally have like a sixth sense, man. He's talking about one of the caves was vibrating, gave him a bad vibe, but he wanted to check it out anyways. I think that's what he said earlier. But it's like, bro, when you get that feeling, that gut feeling, people like to say, don't go against it. It's that simple.
Kenny's love for exploring the Mojave Desert and its countless amounts of caves and mine shafts led him to discover one of the biggest internet mysteries of all time, known as the M Cave.
The hell?
Kenny had a deep interest in aliens and UFOs. He would regularly watch YouTube videos about extraterrestrial life and other mysteries. One of his favorite channels was Serious Disclosure, run by Dr. Stephen Greer, a prominent figure in the UFO community who has been one of the leading voices urging the government to disclose what it knows about UFOs and extraterrestrial life. One particular video that really caught Kenny's attention was about alternative energy research supposedly taking place at Area 51.
Project that he had worked on when they had tested a device that was supposed to be a new type of energy source. It had organic components and organic, almost like it had a consciousness. And it had literally blown up when they tried to activate it, and they tried to turn it on.
Well, damn.
Kenny immediately went to the comments section after watching the video to share his strange and scary incident he had experienced while hiking through the desert near Nellis Air Force Base, not far from Area 51.
This ain't nothing. I'm a long-distance hiker, and one time during one of my hikes out by Nellis Air Force Base, I found a hidden cave. The entrance to the cave was shaped like a perfect capital M. I always enter every cave I find, but as I began to enter this particular cave, my whole body began to vibrate. The closer I got to the cave entrance, the worse the vibrating became. Suddenly, I became very scared and hightailed it out of there. That was one of the strangest things that ever happened to me.
Many people in the comment section quickly responded to Kenny, questioning the authenticity of his story. Some suggested he was simply dehydrated and hallucinating, while others asked him if the cave is real, why he didn't record or take photographs of the cave. Kenny explained by saying,
"There are many caves. I have been in hundreds of them, but this one particular cave was beyond anything I've ever encountered. Someday I'll go back and I'll bring my camera and a weapon with me. All I had at the time was a knife and a wrist rocket.
Sticking true to his word, Kenny set out once again, this time equipped with a gun and a camera, determined to rediscover the mysterious M cave.
And I'm looking for a cave that I found, and I didn't have a sidearm when I was here before, and something about that cave just spooked me. Out of all the caves I've ever gone in, this one just made my body vibrate. The closer I got to it, the crazier my body felt, and I was like, all right, I'm not gonna go in there right now, but I'm coming back someday. And I talked to some people on YouTube, and I told them, hey, I'm coming out here, you know, because they kind of called my hand on it.
At the beginning of Kenny's search for the M cave, he seemed confident that he could locate it once again.
I'm in a big giant creek bed right now, and I haven't come to the area where the cave is. So it's along here somewhere. The kind of cave I'm looking for is deep, and it's dark, and it's shaped like it's shaped just like the letter M. So lots of little caves and stuff along here, and it's about level with the ground, like in an area like this. So I really got to keep my eyes peeled because I don't want to pass it.
However, after hours of hiking, Kenny lost confidence in his ability to find it.
Well, I did not find the cave. That is so weird. I mean, I thought for sure I was just gonna be able to find it. I remember it being fairly easy. Who knows?
Kenny was disappointed that he didn't find the cave, but as promised, he uploaded the video to his channel for those eagerly awaiting an update. People in the comments were quick to express their belief in his story about the cave, which prompted Kenny to reply saying,
I'm going again this weekend. I will be hiking solo for 3 days. I plan on covering about 40 miles. I will cross through the same canyon where I...
Solo. That's the word I don't like to hear. When people go on these trips, in the woods, forests, cave country, whatever you want to call it, and they're by themselves, I don't understand. There should be like a group amongst y'all. Maybe there's a reason why you're solo, right? Not everybody's up to doing these kind of, going to these weird random locations that tend to be very creepy. But why are you by yourself? I know you got your strap with you. You know what I'm saying? He brought his firearm. But still, I think there needs to be like a human as backup. You know, find another dude that can go with you that's willing or interested in the same type of things that you are, so that you're not solo. It doesn't make sense to me that these people are by themselves. At least we may have a story of one person disappeared and one person got away. One person found his way back to society and was able to relay the story of what actually happened. When you're by yourself, solo like this, man, people aren't going to have the faintest clue about what happened to you when you disappear.
I found the cave. If I don't find it again, I will just continue hiking over mountain after mountain to the north of the canyon.
Immediately after he posted this, he received a strange, ominous comment that stated, "No, do not go back there. If you find the cave entrance, don't go in. If you do, you won't get out." Kenny asked, "What makes you say that?" But he didn't get a response. And with that, on November 10th, 2014, Kenny packed enough supplies for a 3-day hike just 1 month after his first search for the M cave. But whether he found it or not, we'll never know, because Kenny Veach was never seen again. When Kenny Veach failed to come back from his 3-day hike in the Mojave Desert, his ex-girlfriend Sharon Pilgrim reported him missing on November 17th. Red Rock Search and Rescue started looking in the desert area Kenny reportedly was hiking. Kenny's car was quickly found, giving them a clear starting point. Fortunately, Kenny had shared details about the path he would hike, which included a deep mine shaft that was seen at the start of his video. When search and rescue teams reached the area, they discovered his cell phone lying next to the mine. Rescuers suspected that Kenny might have fallen in, so they sent cameras down to investigate, but there was no sign of him. After this, search and rescue sent helicopters to sweep across the desert from above, while ground teams methodically searched rugged canyons and cliffs. But despite all their efforts, they uncovered no sign of Kenny and no evidence that anyone had been in the area. As the media started to report Kenny Veach as a missing persons victim, numerous theories emerged attempting to explain this sudden disappearance. One suggested that Kenny had stumbled upon a secret tunnel system at Area 51 and was subsequently silenced by the government. At first, that sounds like a crazy conspiracy theory, but it's worth noting that the US government owns and controls 86% of the land in Nevada. Although there's not much public information about the military bases around Area 51, it's plausible that underground structures exist for reasons related to security and protection from satellite surveillance. And if you use Google Earth to search the mountains between Area 51 and Area S4, you'll find what looks like hangar doors of a military base built into the side of a mountain on restricted government land. Oddly enough, this is eerily similar to what Bob Lazar explained he saw while working at Area S4 and Area 51.
There's this facility that is at S4. It's in the side of a mountain. And normally we had pulled in with the bus and gone around the front through a normal double door. This time that I went in, there were hangar doors open. I went in through the hangar door, and in the hangar door was the disc, the flying saucer that I worked on. I saw it sitting there, and we walked by it. It had a little American flag stuck on the side, and I thought, oh my God, this finally explains all the flying saucer stories. This is just an advanced fighter.
Kenny Veach was hiking approximately 64 miles away from those hangar
wild,
doors, making it nearly impossible for him to reach.
So I was just watching a Slap Ham video, and the last clip within that video was a UFO-based video. And a point that was being made in that video is that it's like a mixture, like a lot of the UFOs that are caught on camera or seen are a mixture of possibly government-owned aircrafts or like specific aircrafts they experiment on. And then the other half could be things that are extraterrestrial, right? But if there's a mixture, this just solidifies the fact that the government, the military, or whatever it may be, is working on certain aircrafts that don't look like the norm. For what reason? I don't know. They probably have special capabilities, or they could be inspired from alien technology to where they're trying to mimic or create a type of aircraft that mimics something that's extraterrestrial. Because it doesn't make sense to me why they would have this specific type of aircraft that's a disc, but it's not been revealed to the public. But they'll take it on these random flights to where the public catches wind of them, and it's just in pure chaos and fear. It's like, just reveal to the public that y'all's working on special aircraft before you have people running outside saying that there's aliens landing. You know, but they want to keep that stuff a secret. I think it's being kept a secret is because the origins of these aircrafts are extraterrestrial. Like, they found technology and they're trying to mimic or make their own versions of it for military purposes.
Reach that part of the desert, let alone getting anywhere near the military base. The government doesn't just guard Area 51, they secure all the surrounding land as well. If you even try to get close, you'll quickly notice black helicopters circling overhead and white unmarked pickup trucks patrolling the perimeter. Military security keeps a close watch, and the moment you get too close to a restricted area, they'll intercept and hold you at gunpoint. That makes it highly unlikely that Kenny would have made it that far into restricted government land.
Crazy.
Despite this, many YouTubers took it upon themselves to search for both Kenny and the elusive M Cave. One channel named Exploring Abandoned Mines in Unusual Places claimed to have located the M Cave based on information provided by a friend in the military.
Nah.
When the YouTuber ventured inside, he discovered an old bottle, some wooden planks, and a few white scratch marks on the cave walls, indicating someone had been there at some point. But none of this seemed too unusual at first. That was until he found an old sign that read,
Okay, Area 51.
The entrance to that cave didn't even look like the cave Kenny found. it resembled the M shape, but the one that they originally showed in the beginning of the video really looked like an M. This one didn't.
Restricted area, no trespassing, use of deadly force authorized. Well, I think it's time for me to get out of here.
Yeah?
So my wife got me this weird new kitchen knife.
I'd agree, sir. I'd agree.
At first, this might seem like compelling evidence, but it's important to note that none of the actual signs around the base have Area 51 written on them. Instead, they all simply say, restricted area, no trespassing. And also, the exact sign the YouTuber found can be purchased online as a novelty prop, making it pretty obvious this isn't the M Cave.
Thank you. Thank you.
Another YouTuber, Sean Horlacher, also set out in search of the M Cave. As he followed the same trail Kenny had taken, he came across a peculiar rock formation resembling an M-shaped cave entrance, but it appeared to have been intentionally sealed with rocks. Pointing his camera at a small opening, you can see there's definitely space back there. What made it even stranger was the distinct color of the rocks. They stood out from the surrounding landscape, making it seem like they had been deliberately placed there to block the entrance. Sean also noticed a seam running along the bottom, giving the whole thing a man-made appearance.
You have this seam that's running. It's almost like this is like a foundation almost. And then this is all like a straight line, and it's got this white stuff in here.
What makes this even stranger is what Kenny says when he was in this area in his MK video.
And it's about level with the ground, like in an area like this.
This is the same place Sean is at, and Kenny saying the M Cave was about level with the ground, like an area like this, makes it seem like this could have been the M Cave before someone covered it up with rocks. As the mystery of the M Cave and Kenny's disappearance continued to grow, it left people with more questions than answers. That was until Kenny's ex-girlfriend Sharon left a comment on his M Cave video, offering new insight. Sharon revealed that she believes Kenny took his own life. She explained that he had struggled with depression for many years, but refused to take medication or seek help from a doctor. About a year before his disappearance, he quit his job to follow his passion for becoming an inventor.
I am an artist, I am an adventurer, and I am an inventor. And I take all those three talents and I combine them and I just create. Hello everyone at Quirky, my name is Kenny Veach and I invented the new improved toilet paper roll holder for the household. It works great. And then it runs out, you just pull that, put the other one in, and let go.
In an effort to gain attention for his inventions, he made a pitch video for the TV show Shark Tank.
Hello, people of Shark Tank. My name is Kenny Veach, and get ready because I'm going to show you a few things about myself, and I'm going to let you know just what I do, what I am, and how much I enjoy life, and how I go about doing that. That's the Glolar Bear. I designed the can and put all the stuff on it. Now there is a glow-in-the-dark polar bear in here that I sewed myself, and he is so cool. Oh, here's something I invented. This is a bull roarer. I got this as a gift, but I made this because the string broke and the little stick broke that came with it, and this used to be a letter B. Now watch this. I made that, made it nice and comfortable. I could sell 1 million of those babies.
However,
What's the purpose
after
of that?
numerous unsuccessful attempts
What's
to
that
sell
for?
his inventions, and without any income, Kenny faced growing financial difficulties. In a last-ditch effort, he resorted to selling both his house and himself, offering himself as a caretaker that would live there with whoever bought the property.
I'm putting this house up for sale along with me. What I mean by that is I would become a caretaker, an all-around caretaker. Kind of like Alice from the Brady Bunch. She took care of all those kids' needs, along with the cooking and the cleaning and all the things that she did. The only thing I wouldn't do is wear the blue dress.
Unfortunately for Kenny, he wasn't able to sell his house in the way he had hoped. This led to numerous theories suggesting that Kenny chose to take his own life in the desert because he was owing payments on his house. Sharon also said she thinks Kenny left his phone by the mine shaft so he wouldn't be tracked by GPS. He also did not take his camera with him on this solo hike. It was left in his home, so he had no intention of filming anything. When police searched Kenny's home, they found that he wrote "help me" over and over again on his computer. It's important to note that when Kenny was in his 20s, his father took his own life. This tragedy might have influenced Kenny's mindset. However, Kenny's sister-in-law, Susan Veach, explained that ending his life was against everything Kenny believed in.
Kenny, when his dad died, we talked about quite a bit. That was against everything Kenny believed in. So my thought was, well, he went out to the mine, he laid his phone down, because I've had theories of people saying, oh, aliens took him, or he was abducted by the military. So are you going to tell me that the military would go out to the middle of the desert and find him at the only landmark that's out there? I mean, that mine is there, and it's a landmark. And that's where his phone is. That phone was meant to be found. Because if Kenny did not want it to be found, he would have just tossed it out in the middle of the desert and went on his merry way. But that's not happened. That phone was meant to be found there. And it was meant to give the impression that he fell down that abandoned mine.
Susan Veach believes Kenny is still alive and faked his own death. At first, this might sound like an unlikely possibility, but on July 15th, 2018, a Las Vegas spiritual healing facility called the Enchanted Forest Reiki Center was broken into. In the surveillance footage, you can see a man quickly run behind the counter and grab an iPad. It seemed as if he knew exactly where to find it. Susan Veach says that this is Kenny, and when you compare this individual to a photo of him, there's a noticeable resemblance.
I don't know.
This burglary probably would have gone unnoticed if the store hadn't been owned by Kenny's sister, Debbie Veach. What makes this footage even more compelling is that Kenny suffered a severe knee injury while hiking in the mountain and needed to be rescued by helicopter. And in the security footage, you can see the man grabbing his knee in pain and even falling on the ground before getting up and running out the window. Here's what Susan had to say about the footage.
I've known Kenny since he was 18. It absolutely is Kenny. There is no doubt in my mind. But for people to say, oh, I was emotional or delusional, no. And let me tell you, nobody I know wants that to be Kenny. Nobody. It would be so much easier to think that he was doing what he loved, he got hurt, and he died. I know that sounds awful, but it's easier to think that than to think that he deliberately did this, and he's put his family and his daughter through we're going on 9 years now, 10 years of torment. That's cruel. I mean, it's easier to think he's dead. They've all backpedaled because nobody wants to go to the cops and say that's him. He told them he was going to disappear. He must have had a plan. They don't want him to go to jail. They don't want him to go to prison. I mean, it's not the Kenny that we know. The Kenny we know would not do that, but that doesn't change the fact that it is him. It's him in the CCTV footage.
10 years have passed since Kenny Veach was last seen. That was until someone spotted Kenny hiking all alone in the desert.
No
when you
way.
Go rogue,
10 years later, and this fool just was gone the whole time? That's wild. Let's see this footage.
The corpse of this guy that looks like Kenny Veach.
How you know that looked like Kenny
The
Veach?
YouTube channel named Driven X Adventure uploaded a video titled "Kenny Veach Found Almost 10 Years in Nevada Desert." He spotted him hiking in the White River Narrows, roughly 86 miles from where Kenny was hiking by the mine shaft. In the video, the YouTuber encounters a man hiking alone in the desert who had a striking resemblance to Kenny Veach. He immediately was intrigued, so he stopped his car to ask if the man needed any assistance.
Sure you don't need nothing?
I'm so good, dude.
Are you sure?
I'm walking the side of the road like half a mile ahead.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah, I do appreciate it.
Okay, you're good with water?
I ain't gonna lie, I kind of sound like him.
Water and food?
Literally tons of it in this bag.
Okay, man.
I'm from around here, so I'm all good.
Okay.
Right on.
All right, bud. Take care. Be careful.
Hey, you too.
During their conversation, he noticed that the man's voice sounded basically identical to Kenny's. Listen to this comparison and tell me what you think.
All over the place. Now I can spend about 20 minutes just walking around and collecting these, and I'll put them all in my bag, and when I get home, I'll have a nice treat.
I'm so good, dude. parked on the side of the road like half a mile ahead. There's like tons of it in this bag. I do appreciate it though. I'm from around here, so I'm all good. Right on. Hey, you too.
Although this looks and sounds just like Kenny, Susan Veach left a comment on the video stating, "Sorry, it's not him. His voice is very similar, but he's not built like Kenny and doesn't walk like Kenny." So, where does this leave us in regards of Kenny Veach's disappearance?
She said Kenny would never hike in shorts. Come on, bro. He's been gone for 10 years. How you know what he's doing now? Like, I don't know. I think that could possibly be him, but he would never hike in shorts and tennis shoes since he was bitten by a rattlesnake and always wore long pants and boots. He responded and said, "Thanks for your comment and watching this video. I respect your knowledge of Kenny, but I believe people can change in ways that affect their appearance and behavior. When I encountered someone who closely resembled Kenny in the middle of nowhere, it made me think that there's much more to this situation." Additionally, I recall Kenny mentioning in his video about the M Cave hike that he had never encountered a rattlesnake like that before, which raises new questions. You see what I'm saying? It's been 10 years. How you know he could be doing anything just to throw you off his trail? If people are familiar with the fact that he wears pants and he don't want to be found, I probably would not wear pants. You can even tell the dude grew his hair out. He has longer hair, so obviously he's trying to do things a little bit different.
So, where does this leave us in regards of Kenny Veach's disappearance? We're left with two conflicting perspectives from the people closest to him. On one hand, you have Sharon Pilgrim, Kenny's girlfriend at the time, who shared details about his long battle with depression. She believes that Kenny may have taken his own life, suggesting that his emotional struggles drove him to end it all in the desert. On the other hand, Kenny's sister-in-law, Susan Veach, offers a completely different view. She believes Kenny lied about the M Cave.
Okay, this is where I have a problem with the M Cave. According to Kenny, he was hiking and he went into this.
My thing is, if you're a sister-in-law, why are you speaking on his behalf? I'm assuming you're married to his brother or something like that. Like, where's he at? Why is he not being vocal about the situation? You know, God forbid he's not here with us any longer, but it's just odd the sister-in-law speaking.
Cave and he got this vibration and this resonance and it scared him so bad that his words hightailed it out of there and he was going to go get a gun. Well, first of all, I know Kenny and Sharon herself will tell you that Kenny takes his camera everywhere with him. No, nowhere is there a picture of the M Cave or a video of the M Cave. There's no reason why he couldn't take a picture of it. So he gave vague descriptions. Oh, well, I hike here and I 9,000 here and I did 40 miles here. And he didn't want anybody to find it because it's not there. I think he did it for attention. I'll be honest with you, I don't think even now he has any idea what kind of massive amount of people are searching for him. The amount of people that are putting YouTube videos, I don't think he even expected that.
She thinks Kenny is still alive and has shared information that contradicts the idea of him disappearing due to financial or emotional issues. According to Susan, Kenny didn't owe any money on his house, eliminating the theory that financial problems led to his disappearance. She even revealed that—
This is the thing, it's just he say, she say. Like, why is y'all on opposite ends of the conversation? Like, the ex is talking about he was owed money, and the sister-in-law, that wasn't the case. Somebody lying. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's what I'm saying. At this point in time, I wouldn't even take their opinion serious anymore.
That he had a job lined up.
People have said, oh, well, he owed money on his house. He was going, no. I contacted the Clark County Recorder's Office just a couple of weeks ago, actually, and I asked him, was there any liens against his property? He said no, up until a lien was never put on that until the end of 2017. They did not start foreclosure process until November, or I think it was November or December of 2017. I just find it hard to believe that a nice house like Kenny had, that they would let it sit for 3 years with no payment before they start foreclosure.
She's delusional, though. Like, if she's alluding to the fact that he had no financial issues, then why would he want to sell his house with him as a caretaker? So if he wasn't in any financial crisis or being able to, maintain the upkeep of his home, why is he advertising himself as a caretaker for the home and trying to sell it? It's one thing if you're trying to sell your home, but advertising as a caretaker means you, in addition to the sale, need to have some type of funds coming in, which is a clear sign of somebody who's in a financial struggle. But the Susan Veach, oh well, no, I don't believe this lady. This lady just want the cameras on her. It seemed like she want all the fame.
Somebody was making these payments on his house. They had to be. There's no logical explanation for why that house did not foreclose sooner. He loved that house. He invested every penny and to fix it up the way he wanted. He would not just walk away from it unless he thought somewhere along the way he could come back to it, or he had a bigger pot at the end of the rainbow. He would not just walk away and just throw his hands up and I'm done. And there was no lien against it. He didn't owe any. He was just having his house payment. And I contacted a friend of his best friend's wife, and she told me that a week before he left, that Kenny had turned in his resume for her husband's company. They install solar fields. So Kenny had a job lined up. There was no reason for him to walk away from his life.
Turning in a resume doesn't mean you have a job. Yeah, I'm tired of listening to this lady. He turned in his resume. He had a job. That means he was applying for a job, bro. Didn't mean he had the job in the bag.
I know Kenny struggled with depression, and as someone who has experienced it, I understand how overwhelming it can be. But after all these years of people tirelessly searching the Mojave Desert, covering the exact areas where he was last known to be hiking, and finding absolutely nothing, no remains, no belongings, not even a small trace of him, I can't help but feel that the idea of him taking his own life in the desert doesn't quite add up. I understand the Mojave Desert is vast, but with so many searchers combing the area, surely something would have turned up by now. Clothes, bones, or even a sign of where he might have been. Instead, I'm left to wonder if maybe Kenny didn't vanish by accident or out of despair, but by choice. Maybe he decided to disappear and live life on his own terms, away from everything and everyone. It's a possibility that feels just as real as any other, especially when we consider the mystery of the M cave he left behind. In the end, I hope that wherever Kenny is, he found the peace he was searching for.
The M cave. Comment down below, man. Let me know y'all's thoughts on this one. Where y'all think happened to Kenny Veach? Y'all think he was the straggler found in the desert? Y'all think he took his life? I don't know. A lot of these disappearance stories, man, they're weird. And the fact that it was in the location of, government testing facilities, Area 51, whatever, or military testing facilities, makes it that much odder. And the fact that he couldn't find the M cave any longer. And they referenced videos of what looked like it had been, filled in by additional debris and rocks and whatever. This could be the military's doing. Who knows? Comment down below, man. Let me know y'all's thoughts. Peace, love, prosperity. If you have additional recommendations for horror content, this is the scary, creepy, and mysterious, man. We do all types, so this isn't just one form of creepiness or weirdness, man. It's all. I was even thinking about venturing into more like crime docs and things of the sort. So comment down below, man. Peace, love, prosperity. God bless. We'll see y'all in the next video. We out.